The brains. I'm just a believer, doing whatever I can to help.
Hey everyone, welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. So, if you're like me, you are probably still trying to pick your jaw up off the floor after that last episode. We are officially heading into episode 8 of Silo Season 3, which means we are firmly on the home stretch toward the season finale. And honestly, things are escalating fast. We're finally getting actual answers about where the silos came from, where in the US they were built, and how Daniel's tech might be the missing link behind the whole operation. Plus, that radio signal, if that really was Patty Kennedy's voice. Silo 17 is about to change everything. So today, I want to break down all the details, the title breakdown, the official synopsis, and my top predictions for episode 8. Grab a drink, settle in, and let's dive into what is coming next. Grey Goo and the synopsis. First up, let's talk about the title of episode 8, Grey Goo. Now, if that name sounds familiar, think back to Charlotte's mission in the jet before everything went south. The moment she started touching that control system, the tech basically melted down into this strange, grayish, liquid-like substance. My guess? We're finally going to find out what that stuff actually is. It almost certainly ties back to Per Stansson and whatever terrifying nanotech or advanced engineering he's been cooking up. In real-world sci-fi, Grey Goo usually refers to self-replicating nanobots that can consume everything in sight. And if Stansson built a microscopic weapon capable of wiping out the surface, that might be the exact reason humanity had to retreat underground in the first place. Now, looking at the official synopsis, it gives us two huge clues. Knox's father Gus comes clean about a secret, and Charlotte makes a life-changing decision. Let's unpack Charlotte first. That thumbnail image shows her holding onto something tightly while having a super intense conversation with Daniel. And that life-changing decision could go two ways. Option 1. She decides to bypass her memory suppression and force herself to remember what really happened during the jet crash, even if it shatters her reality. Or option 2. She realizes the world is ending and officially accepts a spot inside the Silo program. Knowing how much Daniel cares about her, her deciding to enter a silo might be the exact domino that forces Daniel to join the program too. The Before Times. Speaking of Daniel, let's head into the Before Times storyline. It started off super fast this season, slowed down a bit in the middle, but episode 8 looks like it's going to hit the gas again. We saw those massive drills down in Georgia that Stansson's team was using on the ground. And remember how Daniel was praised as a hero in New Orleans for inventing a specific underground drilling method that doesn't disrupt the topsoil. That's not a random throwaway detail. Daniel's invention is almost certainly the exact technology Stansson uses to dig out 50 massive subterranean silos without alerting the general public. When Stansson takes Daniel and Helen to see what's really going on, I think he's going to lay his cards on the table and tell them flat out, the end of the world is coming. It's inevitable, and we can't stop it. We can only survive it. That's Stansson's whole villain origin story, right? He's not trying to save everyone. He's playing a massive numbers game. Build 50 silos, throw a mix of humanity inside, set up strict protocols, and see which one survives long enough to reboot the human race. Up until now, Daniel and Helen have been playing investigators, trying to expose the truth. But once the reality of total global extinction sinks in, perspectives shift. I think Daniel is going to break. He was already feeling aimless and useless as a politician. So if Stansson offers him real purpose, like designing the silo algorithms, writing the pact, or securing a spot for Charlotte, Daniel might completely switch sides and go from fighting the system to building it. Now, Helen is a totally different story. Her moral compass is way too strong. That lanyard we saw earlier basically confirms she ends up as one of the very first residents inside Silo 18. But because she knows too much and refuses to keep quiet, I bet she gets targeted for early memory suppression. Which would explain why, in the brief trailer footage, she's walking into the silo with a blank, peaceful smile on her face, leaning on an official like she barely knows where she is. They erased her threat. Juliet and Silo 17. Alright, let's jump back to the present timeline. Juliet and Silo 17. I've read a lot of fan theories claiming that the algorithm generated Patty Kennedy's voice over the radio just to trick Jules. But honestly, I'm not buying it. I firmly believe Patrick Kennedy and Lucas Carl made it across the wasteland and successfully broke into Silo 17. Remember Solo? We saw him briefly in the season trailer, so we know he's around. Patrick and Lucas likely stumbled into Solo's hideout, found his radio setup, or repurposed Lucas's helmet comms to reach Jules. When they talk, I expect them to describe being hunted by autonomous defense drones on the surface. Drones the Silo residents have never seen before. The real mystery here is the algorithm itself. Why did the algorithm straight up lie to Camille and say Patrick and Lucas were no longer a threat, implying they were dead? Because the algorithm isn't just managing resources, it's managing panic. Robert and Camille. This brings us to Robert Sims and Camille. Man, their storyline has been absolute top-tier television this season. Talk about a complete role reversal. Sims has gone from being this cold, rigid enforcer to a guy who is genuinely putting his family first, while Camille is descending deeper into the cold, calculated mindset required to keep the silo running. At the end of last episode, Camille locked Robert in a private cell. She said she wanted to talk, but let's be real. She knows Robert won't fall in line. He's actively trying to subvert the system now, to keep him from triggering a full-blown safeguard protocol, which would poison the entire silo. Camille might keep her own husband locked away indefinitely. The algorithm basically threatened her, using the dead footage of Silo 17 as a warning. Comply, or everyone dies. Camille is terrified, and a terrified leader makes ruthless choices. She's already drawn blood by turning on Sims. And I don't see a happy ending for Robert here, because his push to do the right thing might ultimately cost him his life. Knox and his father. Finally, let's talk about Knox and his father, Gus. I don't think anyone actually believed Gus was dead, so seeing his name pop up in the synopsis isn't a huge surprise, but his secret definitely is. The synopsis says Gus comes clean about something he made for Ed Harwood. And if you think back to how Glenda managed to travel all the way from mechanical to the deep mines in just 10 minutes, a trip that should take hours, ask yourself how she moved that fast without anyone spotting her. Gus built something. Whether it's a hidden shortcut through the structural maintenance shafts, or a device that glitches out the monitoring cameras to create a blind spot, Gus holds the key to the underground network. It all ties back to those missing light bulbs from Critical Supply and the rumors of a magic relic hidden down in the mines. Gus wasn't just hoarding mechanical scrap. He was building illicit tech right under IT's nose. Uncovering his secret is going to give Knox the missing piece of the puzzle, bridging the gap between the lower levels and the resistance. Our nerdy thoughts. With all these pieces moving, Episode 8 is shaping up to be an absolute game-changer. We're getting the origin of the drills, the truth behind the gray goo, the real status of Silo 17, and a massive betrayal in mechanical. What do you guys think? Is Charlotte going to wipe her memory, or take the deal? Is Robert Sims going to survive the season? Drop all your wildest theories in the comments down below. I read as many as I can and I love seeing what you guys come up with. If you enjoyed this breakdown, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full Silo playlist on the channel for more weekly deep dives. Thanks so much for hanging out today. Stay safe, and I'll see you right back here after the episode drops.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.